Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. Go to f2bbs.com. www.f2bbs.com. The last bastion of free speech on the interweb. That's right, guys. I want you to go to www.f2bbs.com. That's right. I want you to go there. You can, this is a great site to fight against all sorts of nastiness by posting on f2bbs.com, the last bastion of free speech on the interweb. Go there, guys. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury channel. Today we're continuing the series Rolex AD lies. That's right. And what wristwatch am I wearing today? I'm wearing my Rolex. My shoulder's sore. Rolex Submariner. Okay guys, Rolex AD lies. Today I want to talk about flippers. And flippers, what do flippers do? Flippers are people who are in the hobby, and when they can smell a buck, they will quickly sell it, and that's called flipping. Flipping. So they'll buy a hot watch, and they're kind of mini dealers. Now, what is the situation with the flippers? Now, I gotta tell you, there are a lot. I think everybody in the watch hobby, unless you do not sell nothing, you would be a bit of a flippers. So we're all a bit flipperish. And I gotta say myself, am I a flipper? I'm not a blatant flipper. No, like I'm not in the business of selling my stuff, but if a Patek came up that I needed, I don't mind selling one to get another. I don't have unlimited money. Now, flippers, how does the Rolex AD view this? Well, let me tell you, it's pretty damn nasty. I know a guy, a friend of a friend of a friend, and basically he got blacklisted from an AD for selling he bought a lady's Patek that his wife didn't actually like, and he sold it 2 years later. He put it on a forum, a Facebook forum, and the AD said, "You're now black banned." Now, the funny thing is, he lost thousands. It's not like he flipped it for a quick profit. This was considerable time. Basically, he'd bought this watch for her. She didn't really wear it or like it, and he decided to put those funds into another watch. And the thing is, normally you'd think the flipping, they're angry at people making money. They're angry at anyone who sells a watch that they've sold. So it's ridiculous, because let's be totally frank there. Once you bought something, you got the right to do what the hell you want with it. You want to sell it or trade it? Well, that's your prerogative. So it is a very sensitive area. I gotta tell you, with modern times, now we've got the social media happening. I gotta tell you, you've got to be extra careful. It's kind of like, let me tell you this, the flippers themselves there, you can be dobbed in. That's right. You might have mates in the hobby. Well, just be careful what you say to your mates, because they're very likely to dob you in, and then that would progress their own status in the hierarchy. And this is always the danger. So what do flippers think? Now, it is funny, because I got a guy who is going to remain nameless, but he was told by an AD, basically, look, they don't want it shoved in their face that they don't want it to come back and bite them. That's the big thing. They don't, if you do it discreetly, it's like this. There's an old Jewish saying, it's not a crime to be a thief, it's a crime to be caught. And that's the whole thing with this. If you are, they don't really care. At the end of the day, they are a business and they need to turn stock over. But the flippers themselves there, they take it very, very serious, and they get very, very nasty. Very, very nasty to flippers, especially if you're flipping the high-end watches. Now, a bit of advice there: if you do want to flip watches, I suggest you go to a dealer and say, "Look, I've got this from such and so." Well, they'll know who the dealer is. It's normally dealer stamped. I can't have this going to the public. It's got to be done discreetly. That's your best way to flip it. That is your best way to flip it, is to go to a dealer. Now, sometimes dealers, if you're flipping a hot Rolex, they got people who already want it. They don't even need to put it on their website or advertise it. They can just either put it in their window and sell it, if they've got a bricks and mortar shop, or they've got contacts who already want that stuff. This is the truth here. So I gotta tell you, you want to be a little bit careful. You got to be a bit careful how you approach it. So let's have a look there. What you got to be aware of is that your AD is monitoring social media. He is monitoring the Gumtrees, eBay, the Facebook forums, those kind of marketplaces. He is keeping an eye out to make sure that you're not flogging the stock. If you want to flog the stock, what you should do is go to a dealer, a bricks and mortar dealer, and say, "Hey, I've got these hot watches." Negotiate a price. Obviously, the dealer's got to make a little bit of coin, and that would be your best way, because the person who's bought it, he's got to be very careful. He doesn't really want his name brandied about the place that he's a flipper. He doesn't want to go down in history as a flipper. So you do have to be very, very careful. I would seriously advise, you've got to have some play with this. The other thing you might want to do as well, if you are going to sell anything, just hide the serial numbers. Don't reveal the card. You know, the card, you sort of hide the dealer you got it from. You know, you can put a post-it note on it to sort of cross that out there. I've got to be honest with you. You want to be careful. ADs are keeping an eye on social media to know where it is all going there. And also your best mates in the industry, your friends who are in the watches, they will dob you in if it can help their purpose. So just it's dog eat dog. In this day and age here of waitlisted Rolex, it's dog eat dog. So the flippers, I got to be honest with you, if you're gonna do the flipping business, and who am I to say it's wrong, right, or indifferent? Who am I to say there? So that's a bit of game plan to have there. You're gonna flip. You might want to have a relationship with an AD who's not going to advertise it on their website, or if they do, they advertise it discreetly. You don't want recall, because the worst thing that can happen is just put all this effort to building a relationship with an AD and they blacklist you. They blacklist you. As I was saying, a friend of mine's got a relationship with an AD, spent a mozza. They kind of said, we don't really mind if you did sell it a couple years down the track. That's what they said. They said, we don't mind if you sell it if it's a couple years. So they didn't really stipulate a time period, but they just don't want it shoved in their face. So just be aware of that. Just be careful, because a lot of these dealers, they've got head office. Big brother is keeping an eye on things as well. So they don't want to get caught up themselves there. So yeah, guys, I gotta tell you, it's very, very, very nasty. Be careful. You want to flip, you got to do it properly. You got to have some game. And just remember, your friends in the industry, they could very quickly dob you in if it progresses their own situation. This is a nasty hobby. Okay, guys, that's today's video. I will see you in the next one. If you like this series, please send me a few bucks via PayPal. PayPal, ArchieLuxury72@gmail.com. ArchieLuxury72@gmail.com. Hi guys, Archie Luxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey guys, Archie Luxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Patek's came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.